What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the Sean B Show. It is me by myself in the studio. And before I start the podcast, before I really get into the nitty gritty of today, it's NFL Week 7 pre-game, pre-show. Going to be some fun today. Got a lot to talk about. Got a big, huge game today to talk about here in our own backyard. It's actually not happening in our backyard. It's our backyard's team. Per se. You know what? Something I want to mention before, though, is I had made a post yesterday about being kind of alone in here and how that may not be the best approach to this. So I look around. I've got an empty chair over there. You know what I mean? So just maybe looking for somebody to fill that chair. Be nice to not be so alone in here with my coffee. Yeah, a whole lot of football stuff, whole lot of NFL stuff today to talk about. So let's just get right to it. You're listening to the Sean B Show on Second String Media. Sometimes when you record the show live, things happen and you have to go and fix them. So we had to go and fix something. So now here we go. You're listening to the Sean B Show on Second String Media. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Sean B Show. It is I, Sean B, alone here in the studio today. And huge football game today. I can't even talk about how huge it is. It wouldn't fit in this room. It's too huge. Gigantic football game. If there were ever a playoff game happening in week 7 of the NFL season, today would be that day. If you're, here in the Midwest and you're a Colts fan, you just want things to go well for your Indianapolis Colts, who started slow, got a couple wins under their belt now, 2 in a row, go for 3 in a row today. Huge game against the division rival Tennessee Titans. You've got to win some of these division games because you started your divisional season 0-2-1, and that's no way to win a division. So massive game today, Colts-Titans. Colts got the win against Jacksonville last week. I can't even begin to describe to you how big today's game is. And there's a lot of ways that we can look at this positively. JT's coming back. Big prop bet on Caesar Sportsbook right now pays plus 420. That's 4.2 to 1. JT to return and rush for 100 plus and a tud. So made that bet on Caesar Sportsbook today. Got a 6-way parlay today I want to talk about too. I feel like there are a couple of big wins in the betting world with regards to NFL Week 7. So, going to talk about that. Jacksonville hosting the Giants today. The Houston Texans are in Las Vegas. And the other 2 AFC South teams, only 3 divisional games going on today. Only 3 divisional games across the entire schedule happening today. Houston Texans out there in Las Vegas, a stadium that I will be at here in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait for that. That big old spaceship-looking thing, Allegiant Stadium. What a huge week for the Indianapolis Colts by this quick turnaround. And everybody says, what do you mean quick? Quick turnaround. Look, it's week 7. Through week 2, we thought, oh no, this team's in a lot of trouble. And now we're kind of like, all right, we can find some positives. You can see some things happening offensively. The rankings are getting better. Indy's got the number 5 passing offense in the NFL. And it doesn't seem like, for as much hate as Matt Ryan has gotten, it doesn't seem like that would be the case. Indy has the number 5 passing offense in the National Football League. Their rushing defense is the concern for today. It took a slide. Indy's got the number 21 ranked rushing defense in all of football, and that is not something you want when you're going into a week against Derrick Henry. But that's the reality of today. Can these guys get it together? Big miss in Shaquille Leonard again today. Really want to know what's happening with that guy. Kwity Paye out again. Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines both back for that Colts rushing attack that has not been great, but it's been without its stars for the last couple of weeks, unless you include the one play Nyheim Hines ran before he got fucking melted and taken off the field on Thursday night. But we'll get to that. Got a roster of games today going down in the NFL, starting with a big one, Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore's 3-3, looking to kind of solidify themselves as a leader in the AFC North. Cleveland Browns 2-4, trying not to fall too far behind. That's got to be your goal, right? Like, let's see how long we can hold it together until Deshaun comes back. Big loss for Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins out 4 to 6 weeks. Don't know how impactful it will be today. Baltimore's 6.5-point favorite at home against the Browns, who have not played well. They've not been good, but they've not been terrible. Like, Jacoby Brissett hasn't been terrible, just not good. So we'll see where that game goes today. Tampa Bay should shellac Carolina at Carolina. Carolina's just a dumpster fire. Just a dumpster fire. You got guys arguing with the coaches and then getting traded the very next day. Then they ship off Christian McCaffrey. The only reason people buy tickets to Carolina games, okay? The only reason people buy tickets to Carolina games, the only reason people buy Carolina jerseys, CMC. That was their guy. That was their stud. He is now a 49er. Will he play today? I don't know that they've announced anything officially, but we'll get to that here in a minute. I don't see how it's possible, right? I don't see how CMC could possibly play today. We're going to hit the old Google machine, though, because last I checked, it was still a question. Get the old Google machine out and going here, because I'd like to know the answer to that. To reportedly make Niners debut 3 days after getting traded. CMC going to be in uniform today. Don't know how effective he'll be. Don't know if Deebo Samuel is completely off the running back hook yet there in San Francisco, but he's getting closer as long as CMC stays healthy. And again, we'll go into more 49ers talk here in just a moment. Tampa Bay, Carolina, though. Tampa Bay is a +13, or Carolina +13 at home. 13 is a big number in betting. Okay? Is a huge number in betting, especially to expect a road team to go into an NFL division game and win by 13 or win by 14 or more. That's how bad the odds men think the Carolina Panthers are. Tampa Bay at Carolina today. Carolina's +13. To me, that's a pretty good bet. +13. I don't care who's where. Look, PJ Walker, I believe, is starting a quarterback for Carolina. Somebody asked me today not today, but the other day, who was the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers? Obviously, the obvious answer is Baker Mayfield, but we know he's hurt. Whatever happened to Sam Darnold, I don't know. And then PJ Walker, Jacob Eason in snaps for the Cats. Carolina's in trouble. And I think they know it, right? Like, they fired Matt Rule, all these issues. They get rid of Robinson. They get rid of CMC. I think they know it. I think they're just like, let's tear the fucking shit down. Not a bad plan. Not bad to see when it's your time to tear shit down. The Falcons go into Cincinnati today, 6.5-point underdogs. And that's about right. The Bengals are a toss-up. I bet the Bengals -6.5 today, but I don't know if I'll regret that or not. They are a toss-up. Can they protect Joe Burrow? Is always the question. And Zach Taylor not screwed up for him. That's a 1:00 game in Cincinnati today. -6.5 are the Bengals. We'll see how that fares. Detroit at Dallas. The return of Dak Prescott. Yet the biggest story is Jack Fox, the Detroit Lions punter. Highest paid punter ever, $3.7 million a year to punt footballs for an offense that's actually pretty good. Now, they didn't do too well. They haven't done well here recently. They put up a lot of points against a lot of good teams. They've been in a lot of games. Jared Goff was right. Man, they fight. They fight. Jack Fox, highest paid punter in football, $3.7 million a year. They get that extension done. Dak Prescott making his start today. And before the Philadelphia game, I would have almost questioned this for some reasons. Obviously, Dak was always coming back. He's their investment. He's their guy. There's no evidence out there to support that Dak would have some down year. He got hurt in week 1. Yes, they were losing to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is at the early stages, too, of all Tom Brady's drama. Like, I feel like Tom Brady's super depressed now. That week 1 game happens, I don't know, in week 6, we may have a way different outcome. But no, Dak didn't look good in that Tampa game. And then he got hurt, and Cooper Rush comes in. He's 4-0 as a starter. But when it mattered, Philadelphia Eagles, man, big game. Philadelphia Eagles, division leaders. What seemed to be at the time your main competition, your main guy in that division that you're butting heads with, and Cooper Rush comes out and throws 3 picks. Now, he threw for a lot of passing yards in Cooper Rush terms, but that's because Dallas spent basically the entire game behind, way behind. And they brought it back. It was a 7-point game. I feel like Philadelphia let down easy. I don't know. Maybe if Dak plays, the Dallas Cowboys win that game. But Dak comes back today. The questions are done. Dallas only a 6.5-point favorite at home against the Lions. And that's, I assume, because the Lions score a lot of points. That was an easy bet for me to make, though. Dallas minus 6.5. I feel like the excitement between Prescott, this team's playing well. The defense is playing really well. Dallas minus 6.5 to me was a pretty easy bet to make. The only exciting thing about this next little football game here is the fact that I feel like it's one of the best bets of the day. New York Giants at Jacksonville. Jacksonville, a 3-point dog, or a 3-point favorite at home against the 5-1 New York Giants. The Giants are plus 143 on the money line. I don't see any conceivable reason that anyone should think the Giants will go into Jacksonville and lose. They've been really good. Saquon Barkley has been really good. It's weird. It's like it's 3 years ago where the best 2 backs in football are Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb. That's what we see. That's where we are. Everybody says, JT and Derrick Henry. That hasn't been the thing. Tennessee does have the number 6 rushing offense. Somebody's doing something right up there. Giants at Jacksonville. Giants plus 143 on the money line. To me, that was an easy take. Bet it all day. Bet the house on it. I got Giants winning that game pretty handily. Unless we see, what was it, week 4 Jacksonville? Or was that week 3, whichever Jacksonville beat the shit out of Indy? Whichever Jacksonville beat the shit out of the Chargers. We see those guys come to town, and you don't know. They are at home. Giants over the Jags today. That was my pick. That was one of my best bets for the day. Plus 143 on the money line versus Jacksonville. Packers at Commanders. Finally, it's almost like a tune-up game. A-Rod down there to face Heineke. Wentz to the IR. He misses at least 4 games. Are they done with Carson Wentz? Are they finally? Is the Carson Wentz Washington Commanders experiment finally over? I say finally as if it hadn't been only 6 weeks, but I mean, between, Ron Rivera.
Why do you think the teams in the division are farther ahead at this point?
Quarterback.
Most disrespectful shit I've heard in a long time. Between Ron Rivera shitting all over Carson Wentz and the fact that Carson Wentz just hasn't been good. Has not been good. Taylor Heineke loves Terry McLaurin. That's my fantasy football go-to guy. Terry McLaurin, a guy Taylor Heineke absolutely adores. So you might look to that. Green Bay on some shaky ground, okay? They go to Washington today. Green Bay a 4.5-point favorite in that game. I got to feel like that's a good bet still. I know Green Bay's not been good. They did not look good against the Jets. I feel like that Jets game from last week will be a little bit of fuel. Other 1 o'clock game for this week, we'll skip it. We'll come back to it, okay? At 4 o'clock today. The afternoon games today, Houston in Vegas. Defensive end Jonathan Greenard out 4 to 6 weeks for a calf injury, suffered in practice, as if the Texans needed things to get any worse. Vegas is a 7-point favorite. I don't know, though, man. Like, they can't get it together. Houston may give them a game. Houston's been giving people games. I mean, they beat Jacksonville. At the time they gave Denver a game, you kind of gave them a little props for it. The reality, we see the Broncos now. Wild cough today. I don't know. 7's a big number in football. The Vegas Raiders are at home. Maybe a blowout. Maybe a blowout. Jets head to Denver. Russell Wilson out. Brett Rippon in. Brett Rippon's made one start in his football career for the Denver Broncos, and it was against, ironically, the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium, where he won. He's 1-0 as a starter. Playing the Jets at Denver again today. Denver's a tough place to win. Denver is a 1.5-point dog. The Jets are a mystery. The Jets are a mystery. We'll see if old Brett Rippon can give this Denver Broncos offense maybe the spark it needs. But that's happening at 4 o'clock today, 4:15, 4:05, whatever time it is out there in Denver today. Brett Rippon making the start. Russ Wilson gonna chill out on that hamstring. Wanted to play. Coaches said no. Kansas City and San Francisco. I am batshit crazy right now over the San Francisco 49ers. And the trade for CMC was a lot. The trade for CMC was a lot. A 3rd rounder and a 4th rounder in 2023 and a 5th rounder in 2024. That's 3 picks. Now you say 3rd, 5th rounder, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounder. Those are big in the NFL. Those are big picks. Every pick in the NFL draft is big. Gave up 3 picks for CMC, guy who has not played a whole lot ever, really. We'll see if it works out for him. One of my favorite bets of the day, Kansas City's -120 on the money line against San Francisco. I get -120 is not the way you want to go. I don't feel like this will be close. The Niners are at home. I almost said the Giants. The Niners are at home. Kansas City, a 1-point dog at San Francisco. It's basically a pick 'em, right? Because they're still -120 on the money line. And this may have moved since yesterday. Feel like it has, but it may have. We're going to have to see. I just don't understand the love and affection that San Francisco gets. I don't quite get it. The love that the Niners are getting from everybody. You got guys saying these guys are a top 5 team. I don't know how in the world anybody could agree with that. ESPN loves them. ESPN absolutely adores the San Francisco 49ers. I don't get it. They got a test coming to town against KC today. At home. So we'll see what the Niners do. We'll see if CMC plays. That'll be cool to see if Christian McCaffrey gets some action today in a Niners uniform. I like CMC. Look, I have no problem with Christian McCaffrey. I don't mean to kind of float negatives all over this trade because I feel like CMC is a very talented football player. He's just hurt a lot. And I don't know that trading part of your future away to get that guy who's hurt more than he plays was a bright idea. But San Francisco doesn't feel like they gave up a lot. They feel like they got a steal. So we'll see. Again, I don't hate the Niners. I just don't understand why everybody's so high on the Niners. Maybe they'll be in the Super Bowl next year. The NFC's down. The Bucs, the Packers, struggling. The Vikings, good. The Eagles, good. The Giants, 5-1. We'll see what happens. The Seahawks heading to L.A. Now, there are people who have picked the Seahawks to win this game at SoFi Stadium. The Chargers are in trouble if they lose today. We're not getting the Chargers team or the Justin Herbert that I thought we would get at all this year. But the Chargers are in trouble if they lose today. I still, although they've had some success, and I think a lot of that's credit to Pete Carroll, although they've had some success, I don't feel like the Seahawks are any kind of dangerous team. But they have had some success. You're looking at a team in a division where almost everybody is 3-3. Everybody is 3-3 except for the Cardinals, who are 3-4. Niners at 3-3. Rams at 3-3. Seattle, who I thought had a chance to go 0-17, it's 3-3. They've played some good football games, beating Arizona. Won a shootout against Detroit. When it mattered, you beat Denver in Russell's return. San Francisco beats them by 20. The Seahawks are a question mark. The bigger question mark in this game is the Chargers. Also 3 or 4. The Chargers are 4-2, but they don't look good. They don't look good. We'll see what Herbert and the crew put together today against the Seattle team. It's hungry. They're clearly hungry. They clearly want to play football. CMC to the Hound Dogs for Waddle. Yeah, right. I saw that fantasy football trade you made, Mr. Evans. Well done. Like I said, if McCaffrey stays healthy, there's so much value. There's so much value if McCaffrey stays healthy. But if he doesn't, he doesn't do anybody any good. Fantasy football. Before we get to the super primetime games at the end of the week, I'll do a little fantasy football chatter. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, why don't you talk more about fantasy football on your podcast? I said, because I don't want to. And here's the truth for me about fantasy football. Ever since I got into sports betting, fantasy football's kind of taken a back seat to that. That's where the bulk of my football research goes, outside of just, X's and O's research. Going and looking at, who are the guys this week? Who are the teams this week? What are the best bets this week? And again, if you missed it, I threw them both in there. The Giants plus 143 on the money line against Jacksonville, and Kansas City minus 120 on the money line against the Niners. Those are my two. If you're looking for single game bets, those are my two best bets. I like the Giants, and I feel like 143 is a great price to pay to see a 5-1 team. You got a 5-1 team. Yeah, they're hitting the road against a 2-4 team. And said 5-1 team with the great running back, with the old Saquon Barkley back, is the dog in this game and plus 143 on the money line. They're my parlay. I got that parlay. But we'll talk about fantasy football for a second. I'm in 2 leagues. In 1 league, I am 3rd in the league in scoring and have amassed a 2-4 record. I am 2-4 and 3rd in the fucking league in scoring. Bad matchups. Look, points allowed don't matter in fantasy. They matter in fantasy football because that's how you win or lose. But it doesn't say anything about my team. So the fact that everybody's scoring on me like, I don't know, like they were my sister or something. I have a sister. bad. 2-4 in one league. Family league, the league I've been in since the year 2007. The league that my brother and I have dominated for a long time. I am 0-6 in that shit. I am 0-6, and it's hard, okay? It's hard for me to sit here as a guy who talks into microphones about sports and admit that I'm 0-6 in a fantasy football league. But here's the problem with that. Like, the guy who got Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor somehow is 0-6. I had no way of knowing how bad my receivers were going to be. Terry McLaurin. I picked up Romeo Doubs. I drafted Paris Campbell. I need to drop Paris Campbell. Jerry Jeudy and DJ Moore. I didn't know the Panthers were going to suck. I didn't know Russell Wilson was going to suck. Nobody knew anything about Romeo Doubs. Like, I picked him up later in the season because I needed a guy. I thought maybe somebody who's catching footballs from Aaron Rodgers might be a good pickup. Terry McLaurin. Like, I got Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, and Russell Wilson's wide receivers. Like, that is just shit. Like, at the end of the day, that is shit. That is where I'm losing all of my games. Mike Gesicki, Dolphins tight end. The Packers defense hadn't done bad. My one bright spot, but aside from Josh Allen has been awesome, and he is awesome. Brandon McManus, the kicker for the Denver Broncos. Because that team can't get across the goal line for nothing. But by God, they can get in the field goal range. If the woes of fantasy football continue. So you got a guy who got Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor. And still not good. Okay? Not good. Doesn't work. I hit the Dunkin' this morning. If you guys haven't tried Dunkin's pumpkin shit, I recommend it. I like pumpkin shit. I'm going to be that guy that admits that I like pumpkin shit. Dunkin's pumpkin shit, the munchkins, they're so good. They're little donut holes. It tastes like pumpkins. I fucking love Dunkin'. My wife, after months of coercing me to use the app, finally got me to use the app. And now I get points. And it's kind of ridiculous that I didn't use the app, right? I'm at Dunkin' every day of my fucking adult life and don't collect the rewards points. It's crazy. It's crazy. Speaking of rewards points, Caesars Rewards is where you should be betting. If you're sports betting, Caesars Sportsbook is the place to go. Why? Because they have Caesars because they have Caesars Rewards. I'm a Diamond Elite member with Caesars. I'd be crazy to bet anywhere else but Caesars Rewards. And look, I do that. I love betting with Caesars. I got a good bet going for this week. I'm pretty stoked about it. I can just dive right into that. Got a chance to make some big money today, boys and girls. That's what's happening. Still got 2 more primetime games to cover. Still going to talk Colts and Titans. But I got to talk bets. I also wanted to bring up the fact that I'm on Twitter for the first time ever today. Now, that's not me being on Twitter. Like, I've tweeted before. But I'm live on Twitter for the first time ever today. It's a new feature with the streaming platform that I use to be able to go live on Twitter. And I'm live on Twitter today. First time ever. I don't know how that's going to work out. Don't know if anyone cares. I don't have too many Twitter followers. And that's because I don't use Twitter that much. But I'm live on Twitter today. First time ever. That's fun. What up, Kyle Killa? Little Twitch viewer. My guy, Kyle. I hope your Facebook's okay. I don't know if you found out anything else about that, but fucking dirty scum hackers and dirty scum bots blocking people for saying things that aren't even that bad. Look, like, I'm a pretty, like, I wouldn't describe myself as woke per se, but I'm pretty aware of, like, things I should and shouldn't say. And, like, sometimes people by these Facebook, I don't know what to call them, the algorithm sensitivity monitors, Like, sometimes these guys just fuck you. All right? And I'm on Facebook right now. I'm aware of that. I'm live on Facebook on 2 different pages. But sometimes these guys just get you, and I don't understand it all. I know a lot of it's based on the computer. You don't even have to be reported anymore. If you post something that might be offensive, they'll just flag it, and they'll warn you about it. And you see a lot of guys like lose their social media privilege. My friend Kyle, in this case, has damn near lost his entire Facebook, I believe, and has years of pictures and memories that are just fucking gone. That's a fear of mine. Like, the inability to get on Facebook and say shit to people, losing that privilege, I would be okay with. But I've been on Facebook since 2008. For those who aren't good at math, that's 14 years. If I lose all that time in timeline pictures and in memories and connections with people, if you lost all that just because you said or posted something that might be offensive to some people, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. Because look, like, you'll have these people that say, oh, Facebook's not a big deal anyway. It doesn't matter. It does matter. If you put your fucking face on something, i.e. a picture you post, or you put your name on words you say, or you share opinions with your name on them, like, it matters. It's real. I don't give a shit how real people think it's not, or how much of a game people think it is. It's not a fucking game. Like, it's a representation of you. And what's really cool is going back through memories and shit and seeing things that you've done before. Like, that's really cool to do. And be like, oh man, look at what 2013 Sean B said. Huh, how'd he not get banned? Haven't gotten banned yet. Knock on wood. Look at this 6-way parlay I made for today. I'm pretty excited about it. And like I said, I stand behind my decision to go Giants money line. Oh, what a coughing fit today. This weather's killing me. I stand behind my decision to go Giants money line. Giants plus 143 on the money line at Jacksonville. Ravens minus 6.5 hosting Cleveland. Cowboys minus 6.5 hosting Detroit. Colts money line. That's the only way I bet on my own team. Colts to win. Money line. No spread, none of that bullshit. Just Colts money line. Bengals minus 6.5 at home, hosting Atlanta. Atlanta can score a lot, so that one kind of worries me a little bit. That'd be the one I pay the most attention to. That in this Green Bay game. Green Bay at Washington. Green Bay's minus 4.5 on the road at Washington. And it's Washington. It's Taylor Heineke. It's new and it's fresh, and it might fucking work. But I could not bet Commanders plus 4.5. I couldn't do it. And I couldn't go near Tampa Bay. Minus 13 in an NFL game. I get it happens. I get it. It happens all the time. And it may very well happen today. Tampa Bay may just absolutely run over Carolina and beat them by 30. But you can't bet that. These are professional football players. Yeah, it's P.J. Walker and Phillip Easton starting a quarterback. I'm not even sure who Carolina's starting today. I assume P.J. Walker. Let's go look. This is fun. They're going to call this segment Googling Things You Should Know. The reality is, like I said, I just don't pay attention to the Panthers. They're not good. Same reason I don't talk about the Bears. They're not good. But we're going to see here. Carolina Panthers versus Buccaneers, 1 o'clock. One of the top questions on Google about the Panthers is, do the Carolina Panthers still exist? And they're actually talking about the animal, not let's see, Carolina Panthers depth chart. Yeah, PJ Walker, Sam Darnold's on IR, Baker Mayfield's out. PJ Walker going to get that start today. Get a chance to go against old Tampa Tom. Chuba Hubbard starting at the running back 1 spot for Carolina. DJ Moore, Shi Smith, Laviska Shenault. Panthers are in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. Again, it may be just a thing they're doing. They might just be tearing down the whole ship. So we're going to tear this whole thing down and rebuild the motherfucker. That's my 6-leg parlay. I like it. Packers -4.5, Bengals -6.5, Colts money line, Dallas -6.5, Baltimore -6.5, Giants money line. All those things happen. Sean B gets paid. That particular bet is plus 69.37. That's a good size parlay. And like I said, I've also got Jonathan Taylor, NFL Boost on Caesar Sportsbook, plus 420 to go over 99.5 rushing yards with a touchdown. So 100 yards and a tud. Jonathan Taylor gets me paid. It's good times. Speaking of the Colts, we'll get to them in a minute. Couple of I want to be excited about these primetime games. Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh at Miami. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Some people care. I get it. But no. But nobody cares. Pittsburgh at Miami. Gosh damn it. Tonight, all eyes will be on Tua Tagovailoa. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready. Like, I don't want to see this guy get ruined. I thought I did watch him get ruined. If he comes back and he's Tua that he was when he got hurt, A, the Steelers are in trouble. And B, football's going to shake up again. Dolphins are 3-3. They're 2 games out of the AFC East, which I think the Bills will win handily anyway. That number 5 seed. Tua's healthy, and Tua gets back to form like he was the first few weeks of the season. Coming out looking comfortable, having that relationship with his receivers. Dolphins are coming for that 5 seed. That's a real thing. Pittsburgh. Oh, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? This football team's not good. They got to win last week. Okay? They got to win. I just... Kenny Pickett clears concussion protocol. So he's back, which is good. Don't want to see guys hurt. I don't know. I want to be excited about this game. I want to be excited about the Monday night game, but it's the Bears and the Patriots. Fun to talk about the Patriots, though. Bailey Zappi. That guy might be coming for Mac Jones's job. Bailey Zappi's been good. I mean, real good. 24, 34 for 309 and 2 tuds last week. Week before that, 17 to 21, buck 88 and a tud and a pick. Bailey Zappi's been okay. He looked like a stud against the Browns. We'll say that. The Bears, we're going to see Justin Fields fight because I fucking love that kid. It took me watching one full game of Justin Fields, and it was the last game they played, Thursday night against Washington in Chicago. I watched this guy for an entire 60 minutes just fucking fight. And it made me sit there and think the whole time, God, I wish this guy was on a good football team. Dude is a fighter. So we'll see Justin Fields on Monday Night Football going to New England, going to Foxborough. But I don't know what the Pats are going to do. Mac Jones expected to return against the Bears. Okay. It's not like a Cooper Rush story. Like Bailey Zappi showed signs of being pretty good. Where Mac Jones, I don't know, despite being a Pro Bowler, Mac Jones, I don't know. I think any quarterback in that system that can do well, Mac Jones has done well. Bailey Zappi's played well. I will just see. Mac Jones and the Patriots Monday night hosting the Chicago Bears. Hopefully Mac's okay. Hopefully the ankle's good. He says he's making progress. Don't like to see guys hurt. So all eyes in prime time on Tua Sunday night and Mac Jones Monday night. Thursday Night Football finally didn't have a sleeper. Arizona defeated New Orleans 42-34. There were points. Let's see. That's 76. 21 and 19 is 40. So that game this past Thursday almost had double the points of the two games prior combined. Amazon probably glad to see that. Todd Gurley's all but certain he's done. Actually, his words, my career is probably over. Highest paid running back of all time at one point, 2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowl, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 15, NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 17. In 88 games, he amassed 6,082 yards with 67 touchdowns and 2,254 receiving yards with 13 touchdowns. Todd Gurley's a guy we thought we were going to see for a long time. So to see him say, yeah, I haven't filled out my retirement paperwork yet, but I'm pretty done playing football. To see that, it feels like an early into what could have been a great career. But definitely had that discussion the other day. That's sad to see. It's sad to see. But it's a guy who got hurt and wasn't the same. And I don't want to use the word Carson Wentz because Todd Gurley was certainly great for a period of time, not just a half a season. Carson Wentz hadn't been the same since his injury. Some guys can come back from that stuff. Tom Brady, ACL tear, got hit big, missed most of the season for it. Comes back, Tom Brady's got 7 rings. Some guys can come back from those big injuries. Todd Gurley, never the same after he got hurt. Either way, a great running back. And hopefully he retires. Hopefully they're his terms he's retiring on. I have to do it. I have to talk about this Colts-Titans game. I don't know that I want to. It's just too big. The magnitude is too big. Indianapolis, the number 5 passing offense. 29th in rushing, but I got a feeling that's going to change today. Number 14 offense overall. And from a yardage standpoint, 27th, however, in the league in scoring. A lot of those problems red zone issues, turnover issues, those things will create a good yardage offense, but a terrible scoring offense. When you're 27th in the league of 32 in scoring, that's pretty terrible. Are those issues fixed? Is the Matt Ryan, Alec Pierce relationship blossoming? Has he picked one of those three tight ends to become boys with? And why is it Jelani Woods? What a game today. Playoff type game. It feels like a playoff game. Fans feel a playoff game. We are jacked. That's the reality of the situation. Defensively, Indy's 10th in passing defense, but 21 in rushing defense. And that changed quickly. Because at the beginning of the year, our big thing that we could hold ourselves up on was our run defense. 21 in rushing defense. Still number 10 overall. Great against the pass. Tennessee, number 6 against the run. Indy's number 14 in scoring defense. Tennessee, number 21 in scoring defense. I feel like the Colts offense has a chance to absolutely pounce. Tennessee is the worst passing defense in the league. Number 32. And number 28 overall. With the 6th best rushing defense. That's really strange. It's how bad you are against the pass. Alec Pierce, MPJ, Paris Campbell, Jelani Woods. Where you guys at? Matt Ryan, where you guys at? Offensive line, where you guys at? That's what's going to matter today. It was the same thing against Jacksonville. We protected Matt Ryan. He threw a lot of passes. That was the game plan. Get the ball out quick, let these guys make plays. Get the ball out quick, let these guys make plays. Lot of passing attempts. Got to get the ball out quick, let these guys make plays. That's going to help your offensive line not have to hold up for so long. That's what's going to keep your defense on its heels. Running backs are back today. Deion Jackson was our leading rusher last week with 42 yards and a tud. Got Taylor and Hines today. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. Can MPJ have another 134-yard game? The thing about it is he doesn't need to. There's targets. He uses them. Matt Ryan completed 42 passes last week to 7 different targets. MPJ getting the bulk of those at 13. Deion Jackson got 10 catches last week. They like the screen game. I personally hate the screen game. I don't hate the screen game. I hate that the Colts run the screen game because it's so fucking predictable. You as a fan can watch them and know when they're going to do it. Now, if I can sit at home and know what's coming, I'm willing to bet a Mike Vrabel-led defense can sit at home and know what's coming. We got to get big plays from those guys on defense. Okereke and Franklin, EJ Speed back there at the linebacker spot. Looking for a final injury report on the Colts because the one person I haven't heard anything about today is Grover Stewart. See those inactives. So the Colts inactives today. QT, we knew that. Doman, we knew that. Nick Foles, never going to be probably ever again. French, Johnson, Shaq Leonard, Kwity Paye. So Grover Stewart's in the ball game. That's a big one. He's been huge all year. Grover Stewart's played really well all year. It's going to have to be there. Tennessee's offense isn't that good. Defensively, hold it down. Offensively, take advantage of their weaknesses. Their weaknesses are in the passing defense, in the secondary. My hope for today is that Alec Pierce goes to work. Alec Pierce, have your coming out party. I get it. The touchdown was big. The touchdown Alec Pierce had and hauled in against Jacksonville to win that game was big. It was huge. But I want to see a coming out party, man. I'm ready to see 14 and 11 establish themselves as that receiver core. That's what we need today. Keys to winning are going to be the same as they always are for the Colts. Got to protect Matt Ryan. Got to get those receivers established. But today, you got to get that. You got to reinstall that 1-2 punch at running back. They're both back. It's going to be a much different look from the Colts, okay? For the last 2 weeks, both of which have been wins, by the way, we've seen the Colts go in without 28, without 21. Those guys are back. Nyheim Hines is catching footballs again. Nyheim Hines is taking those backup running back reps. JT's back there. Now, don't think for a second that Tennessee thinks they can soften up. JT's been out a couple weeks, but he's still Jonathan Taylor. Play action game. Let's go. Let's go. I want to see one time. I want to see Frank Wright keep his foot on the fucking gas. And just say, here's where they're weak. Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do to stop that. Let's go. Defensive front has to be really, really good. Derrick Henry is really good. We let Jacksonville run all over us last week, especially in the first half. Can't have a day like that again. Can't have a day like that again. Speaking of football games, I'm going to get the fuck out of here and go watch that one. This is Sean B. Show. Hey, guys, I appreciate you sticking around and listening to me banter. Again, if you know somebody or you are somebody who wants to help me grow this show, maybe, I don't know, occupy seat that I might have over there, right over there. Over there. Yeah, that one. Help me out. We got big plans going on in this studio. And outside of this studio, Second String Media is coming up in the world. I can assure you of that. I need some help. I'm not one to say that I can do it without help. I need some help. Things are going to change and things are going to be awesome. I cannot wait. It's going to be a lot different than me sitting in here and yelling at a microphone. But until then, I'm going to sit in here and yell at a microphone. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. This has been Sean B. and the NFL Week 7 pregame show. I will see you guys on the other end of an Indianapolis Colts win. Let's go. Awesome fade transition did not work.